Hey folks, I want to tell you a little story about my history. Back in 1989, when I gave myself to the Lord, my father-in-law happened to be a preacher, a pastor. And I would go up there almost every weekend to South Carolina from Florida and sit down with him at least one night a week, and he would teach me the very word of God. About 5 months into this, he looked over at me one night, it must have been at midnight, and he said, I believe you're called to preach the word. And I went, really? And my father-in-law set up for me to preach at his church 3 weeks later. I never preached before. Matter of fact, I was terrified of public speaking. I wasn't a big fan of it. And as I began to preach, and I'd preach for him like maybe twice a year after that, and I would pursue the Lord, and I didn't know how to make ministry come about. I didn't know how to put myself in the right position and to understand and decode what the Lord was speaking to me. The best way I can kind of describe it. In 1993, of April of that year, I was praying, and the Lord spoke to me, and he said, I'm calling you as a prophet. I didn't know what that meant. And, today we have so much teaching on the prophetic. Back then, it wasn't as wide scale. We didn't have the internet. We didn't have schools of the prophets started up around me. There wasn't any around me. And I began to pray, and I said, Lord, what do you want me to do? And he actually told me to usher. So amazing. And so I did. And one of the things that happened to us a year later was my wife was invited to a Thursday night women's meeting with, there was going to be a prophetess there named Kathy Leshner. And Kathy calls my wife out. I stayed home with the baby. It was a women's meeting. I stayed home with my son Jordan, and she went to the meeting with, I think, her mother and some friends. And my wife got called out first, and she gave my wife a word that by the way, I still listen to this day. June 30th, 1994. Be 26 years this June, I still listen to that word because it's such it was such one of those critical moments in my life. Because what happened was Kathy Letcher was doing in town every first Tuesday of the month. She was doing a prophetic meeting in the morning on a Tuesday morning, and so me and Kathy didn't know about it. It was at a different church, and me and Kathy started going. Me and my wife Kathy started going. And I began to usher for Kathy. And then through that, her husband gave me a word, had never met him before. That was on January 1st, 1996. He gave me a word. I was, again, first one called out. He called me out. And he prophesied over me. And I remember going, Lord, I still know what to do with all this. There's a lot here. I took my words to my pastor. I had about 5 to 6 words of prophecy over my life, and he sent them back to me. He didn't know what to do with them. And I remember going, I need someone. I don't think I used the word fathers, because I don't know if I had that term in my being yet, but I need someone to help me. I knew that. And 1999, Randy Letcher announced that he was starting a school of the prophets in town, and I went to that. And just being around that culture, that prophetic culture, but also that father and that family culture, he took me in as a son and helped raise me up and train Kathy and I, where she is also ordained prophet. When I got ordained as a prophet, they started prophesying as an apostle, and I was not happy with that. Story for another day. But might not think so, or maybe you do think so. I'm going to tell you, most people need help. We need not just someone to open the door, but someone that we can go to serve, and that serves a big part of it. And I'll explain that maybe in another message. in one of the schools, but why servanthood is so important, because it's how you actually gain authority, and how that was vital for me, and very vital for me. And so I began to usher at the school. And then as the relationship built, and I was faithful, then I got more opportunity. As I got more opportunity, I was faithful. And then as I got more opportunity, I was faithful. And then I got more opportunity, I was faithful. And those are the kind of things that happens. But I find a lot of Christians today sit in the pew and they want to do more, but they look around their church and they don't know how. Maybe you're in a house where they don't let you do more, or they don't understand the prophetic, the apostolic, the healings, the miracle signs of wonder. And you're thinking, I'll just go to another church. But I get this question all the time. What do you do if there's not a church like that in your area? That's a problem. When God started talking about the kingdom, there was no kingdom church. I was in a church that wasn't preaching the kingdom. I wasn't in a church that raised up prophets. They didn't believe in prophets. And yet God still raised me up because I had someone in my life that would pour out into me. And then as I was faithful with that person said, oh, wow, faithfulness. And he would always meet it with more opportunity. So that's my journey. And I want to see you hit your destiny. I want to see you fulfill the things that are they might actually be hidden in your heart today. Like when King Saul was prophesied and Samuel said to him, come back tomorrow and I'll reveal everything in your heart. Things you don't even know about, I'm going to basically talk to you about. And that's what the prophetic does. One of the things the prophetic does, it pulls out the mysteries of our own heart, the deep yearnings of God in our heart. And I want to help you do that. I want to help train you, and I want to help train you so not only you could reach your destiny, so you can go do that for others as well. So, sign up if you're ready. If not, maybe you need a couple more days. But we are launching this on May 3rd. So I really want you to quickly as you can, sign up so you will be on our first Zoom meeting. You can sign up after that. You just won't be on the live ones. And so one of the benefits there is the interaction I want you to have. So go ahead and sign up. And it's $50. You can do see what you're getting for that. You're getting 16 videos. 8 of those are live teachings and questions and answers. And then 8 of those Bethel videos and some bonus material. So it's a real value. I think it goes way beyond $50, more in the $100, $200 range. But we want to make this affordable too. So go ahead and sign up. God bless you. And if you have any questions, just email me at info@lewisdsiena.com. And I'll try to answer your questions. You have questions about the product. God bless you, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.